Alright, so we've got the size small wolf gray fully enclosed Marsupial Gear Bino Harness with the small zipper pouch and the rangefinder pouch here. So we're going to take a look at the small zipper pouch here on the side first. It has a full pocket on the front here made out of stretchy material. Works really well. I carry my elk calls in here. And then the zipper part, it actually works pretty well to unzip with one hand, but when you go to zip it, you're going to need to use both hands. It's actually a pretty deep pocket. It's about 1.5 inches deep and then 4.5 inches tall or so. In my pocket, I typically run my headlamp, I run a lighter, I run some extra blades, and some latex gloves. Now, one thing I will mention, a tidbit that worked really well for me, I hate a headlamp, so most of the time I run a handheld light that I can use as a headlamp with a headlamp attachment. But what I found with this Marsupial Gear is I can actually use the magnets on the bottom, and I can run my headlamp off the bottom of this. It keeps my hands free. I don't have to worry about the weight of a headlamp pulling my hat off or the bill blocking the light to my hands. You know, I can keep it right here and it works well. I can adjust this. Just a real tidbit for me. I found works really, really well. I was quite impressed once I found that out. So not only is that, but it's a hand-free headlamp attachment as well. Moving over to the rangefinder pouch. The rangefinder pouch has 3 magnets on it. It has 1 magnet on the bottom, 1 magnet in the lid, and 1 magnet on the back here. Obviously, that's how it opens and closes. The material on the inside is a nice brushed fleece, so it's really quiet. No squeaking noise to it, anything like that. You have a lanyard loop on the front and on the back of this, so mine's attached to the back. If you wanted to tether to something that goes in the side pocket of your bino harness, you have that as well. One thing I will mention, I wish they would have done the external pocket here on the rangefinder harness as well, given I know you can only use it when it's closed. But if I wasn't running this pouch at all, it would have been really nice to have that pocket in there to be able to put my elk calls in. In the back right here behind it, I run my Taito TI knife. I typically run it without a blade in there. I just have that sheath shoved in the webbing back there, and it seems to stay so far. So moving to the harness. On the very bottom down here, you can see there are a row of Male webbing. So again, no wasted space on the bottom of this harness. They give you the option to be able to put a pocket there if you wanted to, or you can put a can of bear spray. They make a pocket for a can of bear spray that goes down there on the bottom as well, but no wasted space. Moving up right along the edge here, you've seen the 3 magnets that I put the headlamp to. So there's 3 magnets on there, there's 3 magnets in the lid, and then 3 magnets on the top. Important to note, they use 3 magnets. Most companies only use 2. So it really helps keep the lid open or closed depending on which position you're in. So it adds a lot more security. You don't have to worry about it flopping halfway open or halfway closed. Moving to the front, there's a small zipper pocket up here. I run my tags inside of there as well as a couple extra blades. What I'll mention about this pocket is whatever you put in here, you want it to be thin. If it gets too thick, it's going to push into the binos, and it's going to make the binos hard to get in and out. Up here on the lid on the top, it's just got a piece of webbing that's double over and sewn as the pull tab to open and close this. When I originally got it, I wished it was more of a D that I could get my thumb in and open it. But once you use it a little bit, you figure out why this is when the bino harness is completely closed, that webbing tab sits nicely against the bottom of the harness, so it's a really well thought out design in what they use to open and close it with. The inside of the bino harness is the same brush fleece that they use in the rangefinder pouch. Really quiet. Again, this is a size small. These are 10 by 42s. Pretty quiet, just your general sound of it moving in and out. No squeak to it, nothing like that. They use really good material in here so that you don't have any of that squeak. The buckles on the harness are relatively large. You can see on the side here, they're about 2.5 inches. So what they do offer is they offer a buckle delete kit where you can get kind of a G-hook buckle to replace the buckles on the top. I did that because what it did is it took me from about a 2.5 inch buckle down to about 1 inch, a little over 1 inch. So I was allowed to move my bino harness up that additional inch. So it really helped. To me, it's really good. You can see up here I have a wind checker that runs milkweed out of it. That's just what that is, if you see that. Moving to the back of the harness, again, there's absolutely no wasted space on this harness. On the back of this harness, they use a very large pocket back here. You can easily put a phone back here. I run some Taito fillet blades that I repackaged inside of here, and that's just so that if I need to break down an elk or I need a longer blade for my knife, then I have some of them back here as well. Back of it, pretty simple. They use a Male style design to attach their pockets, and I like the way they did it. They did it before the buckle so that this pocket does not slide out onto your strap or along the side of your body. Anchors it really well to your body. And then one thing I'll say is it actually has a pretty interesting design once it's loaded. It gives you this nice cup shape, U shape if you will. Really seems to contour to the body pretty nicely. So for me, this harness is an absolute win. I see really no issues with it. Again, I would like to see an external pocket right out here just to be able to carry calls in if I wasn't using the other pocket on this side. That's one minor little flaw. Outside of that, I have absolutely no issues with this bino harness. By far the best one I've ever tested. Hands down recommend it for whatever it is. I think it's about 120 bucks. If I had to buy another one tomorrow, I wouldn't even hesitate. I would buy another one again tomorrow. Really well thought out, awesome design. It was definitely well worth the wait to wait for Marsupial Gear to come out with a fully enclosed bino harness. If you're in the market for a new bino harness, check them out. Marsupial Gear, fully enclosed bino harness. Thanks, guys.